If you enjoy truthful and heartfelt conversations to inspire you to become a better version of yourself, empowering stories will help you. Hello, Dr. O. Thank you so much for being in this program. I'm so honored and so excited to having you in the program.
Yes, thank you so much for asking me. I love how our worlds can be combined. No matter where we are in the world, we can still connect. So I'm excited to be here.
I have a short bio of yours that I have been given, and I'm going to read a little bit of it, just a little bit of it, because we don't have the whole evening. And what I have learned, Dr. O, is that your background started in media, modeling, acting, television, film, radio. I mean, looking at that face, no wonder. And not only that face is your energy, but we'll talk about your energy later on. And then you turned into a writer, producing director. You worked in so many reality shows, television, talk shows, sitcoms everywhere. I only recognize from here all these letters, one after the other, Verizon. The reason why I know it's because I invest on this one. And working, this is something that said, yeah, this woman's heart is different. Working as an executive producer, you realize what was going on with the money and how money could change people's lives.
Oh, yeah.
So I would love you to talk about that. And just wait and see the energy of this woman. It was going to blow your mind out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes. So I love, the way that you gave the description. As I was in media, it didn't matter what name we had, Oprah, Will Smith, you can name them, Brad Pitt. It didn't matter what name you put there. It just Elba. It doesn't matter what name you put there. It doesn't matter what production company, Sony Entertainment, Viacom, Vista Buena, or what we call Disney or whatever. It doesn't matter. From whatever letters that Anna was talking about to whatever person, you're going to have a financial backing, and you're going to have what we call producer or executive producer credits, meaning someone's going to have to fund this ordeal, and you can't get anything without the funding aspect of everything or the ability to distribute what it is that you are making. So that taught me financial literacy 101, meaning that you're going to have finances as a part of your plan, a part of your strategy, and anything that you're doing in any type of business, in any type of industry, you're going to have resources. Human resources is the most valuable aspect of that. And those human resources are there to go and guide us and get us the financial resources that we need. So that I learned hands-on in that process. I learned that wealth distribution, wealth building, wealth maintenance was also an aspect of it. So it wasn't just about the money, it was also establishing wealth. So in those processes of being in the media, I got to build out my database and my net worth by building networks and using these networks, such as television networks. It's able to reach more eyes, reach more people, do more what we call accessibility. And so in that, I just took that same format and I just started doing it in the financial industry. Literally, I took my wealth distribution, wealth knowledge, wealth learning, the same pattern that I did when I was working in media, acting, modeling, writing, producing, and things of that nature. And I just took it to this industry and we just share the same energies. And that's exactly what I've been doing over the last 20 years.
Wow, there is such a big relationship between wealth and health and self-love and sex and relationships, isn't it?
All of it, everything, literally, biologically, psychologically, pathologically, all intertwined. I'm a big studier of metaphysics. I'm a metaphysics nerd. I love seeing how things work the way that they work in their design, but also being able to add creativity to that. So when you think about sex and you think about the coming together of two beings coming together and making themselves one being in a physical plane, getting into a spiritual, emotional connection, that's the same way that it works in economics. And what I mean by that is you take finances, for instance, you take what we call currency, cash, or Bitcoin, or crypto, or any form of trading or stock, and you take that relationship and you commingle it with a trader or somebody who knowledge based, and those become one. And as they connect, you can make moves, what Mr. O'Malley would call puts or calls, no matter if it's going up or down. And I don't mean to be too graphic, it's still working together in an influx and in an energy called fusion. And that's what I see and I think about when we talk about intimate relationships or sexual relationships or family relationships or business relationships. It's all a commingling and an intertwining of unity or coming togetherness. And once you do that, you can see it from a different perspective and use it to your benefit, hopefully. So I'm happy that you brought up the relationship aspect of all of this.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been teaching to invest in the stock market for nearly 10 years now, and I've seen it. Every time I become in contact with somebody now, I know exactly how they're going to do in the market.
That's good. Can you give me some insight on that right now? I want to know. I don't want to lose that. What have you been seeing? Give me something. I love it.
Well, it's a simple doctrine as much as you put out, you're going to get back. That's exactly what's going to happen. I've seen clubs hand to hand. We would meet with them. One is from 7 to 8 and the other one is from 8 to 9. They're investing pretty much the same amount of money. And we could see how one club was doing completely different to the other one. Even though Owen and I were there, the same companies, the same amount of money, everything was the same, except for the people there. Some people would be scary pants, and I can't afford it, or I don't want to pay for the course, or it's too expensive, or I don't deserve it. The I don't deserve it is just amazing. And you can see that people with wealth, already holding wealth, they might not have money or not much money, but they are holding wealth. They know that they are wealth. And those ones, they are going to succeed. And also they look for long time, not short relationships.
No short relationships.
Long time relationships.
No, I love that you said that because we utilize a thing, especially in trading or the industry of finance or holding money, besides HODL, but moreover patience, PAYTINCE, patience pays. And I always tell people that the poor or those in poverty or those who are spenders are the savings account of the wealthy. So the poverty minded people and or action people are the actual savings account of the wealthy minded or receptive people. And the more receptive that you are, or open minded and or flexible and highly adaptable that you are, the better experience in life that you're going to have. And you're operating out of the principles of abundance and wealth. So I'm so happy that you brought that up. And I agree. I agree 1,000,000%.
You've got to see the Instagram post that I put today because it has something to do with that. I think
I will. I'll go look.
Tell me about women.
Yeah.
Women, finances.
Yeah, absolutely. Women are the best recipients of wealth possible. We are cultivators. You give a woman a sentence, she's going to make it a paragraph or a book. You give a woman an idea, she's going to transform it into something new. Now, I will say that all women can operate out of their creativity. I'm not saying that they all do. I'm saying that we all can. We all have the ability to cultivate and manipulate a situation into a greater facet based off of just the I won't say dynamic, but the design of a woman. Even those women who have unfortunately not been able to reproduce a child, she still has the ability to take something and turn it into a lot of multiple things. We're very multifaceted that way. And it does take multifaceted behavior to operate out of abundance or wealth. I'm not saying that men are not. I'm just saying that we do this in a different strategy. So where a woman's brain parts are smaller in the man, they're larger. Where the man's brain parts are smaller, in the women's brain, they are increased and or larger. So they call it the nagging area or gene of the brain, which is where we're able to pick and AKA listen to the details. You are going to need to pay attention to details as a feminine energy when it comes to finances, wealth, or relationships total. And if we would do more listening than speaking, we will hear exactly where another person is coming from. We can take that same aspect ratio and apply it to our benefit and cultivate it if we want to. That's why they say that happy wife, happy life, meaning that if you can consistently keep the woman's esteem high and you can make sure that she is put what we call on a pedestal, that she will operate out of that esteem and be the best she can be for everybody. You know, women take care of everybody, and we put a lot of people before ourselves in some regards. In a healthy environment, that's actually really good because you benefit from that. It says that your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. When great people see your greatness, they add to it and help multiply you. We also see that as what they would call a negative, because you'll be so busy loving other people and forgetting about yourself and leaving yourself out of the picture. But if you look at the first principle of wealth women, it is to pay yourself first, to
First.
make sure that you put your mask on first before you mask another person so that you're able to breathe and live while you're assisting. And when women get that factor in their life, not only are they going to be empowered, power, POWHER, but they will also be able to see people from a different perspective, which will give them more empowerment to do more for more people. And I'm not saying no is a complete sentence, okay? So you don't say yes to everything. What I'm saying is, if you know it within yourself and your confidence level is up as women, you're going to be able to do more for yourself and other people when you want to. And confidence will fund your entire wealth portfolio. Consistency will keep it.
What I see here is a very powerful woman who has things very clear, which is you. Were you born that way? Were you nurtured that way? Did you
When I,
make yourself up? Did you make you up? How did
I
that
think
happen?
I want to go there with you because I'm really big on soul more than I am on spirit. And I am a spiritual person, but I'm big on soul. I'm getting more soul connected. And I do believe and I receive myself as someone who did come like this. However, you said a great term. Was I also nurtured? I was also nurtured to be who I am. In most African cultures, the baby doesn't receive the name until they see the character of the baby. So I'm not saying in all, but in some, most African cultures, what happens is you do not name something that has not given itself a name. To name something is to control something. We say Jupiter. Did Jupiter tell us that it is Jupiter? No, someone decided that it was Jupiter, so they named it Jupiter. So we say Jupiter. That planet may not even want that name. That means that someone's controlling our perception of this huge, the largest planet in our solar system. And that name, it may just be called Big, but a human decided to name it Jupiter. Well, same thing happens with the naming of a person. So when it comes to that, I actually named myself. My mother and her brother and my father and family named me Donna Lynn Coffee. Coffee spelled just like the drink. As I got older, I found out that Donna was the woman that my uncle was cheating on his wife with. I don't want that name. It's beautiful. It means lady. It means maiden. It's a wonderful name. But I don't want that name. I'm based off the woman that my uncle was cheating on his wife with. That's what they named me, and everybody was okay with this because my mother has a brothers and sisters of 8, 7 girls, 1 boy, and since he was the one boy, he got to name me. No, sir. I love you and stop it. So I came onto the earth with a name that was given to me that to me doesn't represent who I am as a person, but I was a baby. So I didn't get to make that determination. Well, on May 17th, 2010, I was able to go to the court, change my birth name into the name that I chose for myself through my actions, my character, who I am. And Omai means everything and nothing at all, complete, wholeness. And that's what I want for my life. That's what I want for the lives of other people. That's the meaning of my name. And then I changed my middle name, and I just simply changed the spelling of my last name to our inherited name from Ghana. So I said that to say that I'm connected. And so, yes, I feel I came this way, but I do also feel that I was nurtured and cultivated and loved on and inspired by other people as well to become all that I am today. And as I'm growing, I'm still becoming.
I can tell you, sister, you are becoming, you are powerful. I've heard this lady in Clubhouse, and it's like, oh my God, where is all this energy coming from? How powerful. You come across so powerful, yet so respectful. And thank you for doing that, because I think that us women of the world, we need more of that. We are brought up, yeah, with the idea that, yeah, put the other ones first. As you said before, yeah, put the other ones first sometimes, but love yourself. But no, for us, is put everybody else and then forget about you. And then you're shit. And then who's going to look after you? And then it's bad because it's not good for you, it's not good for anybody. So it's not building anywhere. And what you're embodying there is that being me is great, and I can help you more if I am me. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Perfectly said, Anna. Perfectly said. Yes, I love that. And I love the fact that we can do that when we choose to do that. Therefore, I would say that it is a choice. And it's a choice that you're going to have to make daily. Wealth is a daily choice. Wealth is a team sport. I can go on and on and on about the idea of wealth. But at the same token, you are going to have to make a decision every single day. And you're going to have to keep a higher attitude. I posted the other day that low vibrations do not operate in high frequencies. And in order to up your vibration and up your frequency, you're going to have to know how valuable you are with or without anybody else. You're going to have to know how valuable you are when you do get to meet with another person, such as Anna and myself have been able to have conversations or hear of each other, connect with one another. And here we are taking it to the next dimension and the other level. And we're creating a new vibration and a new frequency with her audience and with those who are going to be listening in and who I'm going to share this with. And now we're grappling on something that is much greater than ourselves. But you've got to be great first. You've got to feel that first before you can offer it to other people. So I'm so excited about the opportunity to join forces and still be learning and willing to learn, because I don't know it all. Anna doesn't know it all. But as we come together, we start bringing more knowledge to each other. And I really love that.
I I absolutely love what you're saying, and because there's so much coherence in everything you say, you do, you feel, and you act. You can tell that there's complete coherence. All the wavelengths are with the tops together and with the drops
Yeah.
at the same time, and that
Yeah.
creates an interference pattern that
That's
increases
good.
that
I like
increases the energy of the wavelength. I must confess something to you, Dr. O. When I heard you first on Clubhouse, you were giving the heat to Owen, and I was freaking out. I was freaking out. And he loves those challenges. He just thrives in challenges because that's who he is. But I was freaking out because I was thinking, oh my God, if she asks me, I'm going to, I don't know, I won't be able to talk. And then I wrote you down on people to interview.
Okay.
But then I say, well, maybe next year when I have a bigger follower, when my brand is better known, the monkey was talking. The freaking monkey was talking. And then I said to myself, I think I picked your soul connection and your spirit connection because I said, this is a beautiful woman and she's going to look at me just as another woman. If she
Yeah.
can, she'll do it. If she cannot, she won't do it. And that's it. So you helped me grow massively because your standard was very high. But I was able to look at you as spirit to spirit or soul to soul. And at that level, we are all the same.
That's exactly.
Oprah and you and me and whoever is cleaning the loo anywhere. We are all the same. And from that level, we can all grow together.
Powerful. That's I received that, And I honestly have nothing to say but yes. 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 I
Yeah.
love it.
And I think that us women, we have, that's my perception anyway, a lot less trouble
Mhm.
working together as equals
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
don't compete as much. Is that your experience as well?
Well, I have had another experience when it came to women. A lot of women do attempt to try to compete with myself. And I always tell them, we don't compete, we complete. And as you're starting to complete yourself and or come into a situation and help to complete the situation or the circumstance, you don't need to compete. There's no sense in it. Competition can be fun, competition can be rewarding, competition can be very elevating. However, it has to come from a healthy basis points. And a lot of people do not know how to be healthy in their interactions and relationships with other people because they don't have a healthy mindset or a healthy heart. So you've got to be careful with competition. It is for a skilled person. It's not for just someone, even in a sport. You don't just send somebody out there into the sport. They could get hurt or even worse, killed if they're not competitive, meaning that they don't have a skill set. So we don't need to compete. I've had a lot of women very intimidated by me because I do very well with males. I was born that way for a purpose and a reason as a benefit even to other women. Because there may be a way I speak male, so there may be a way that I can communicate with a certain man that maybe you don't know how to communicate yet. So, one, you have a voice from me, you have a spokesperson in me. You also can learn from me if you want to. And a lot of people are too busy being jealous or envious from people that they can be learning from. Instead of seeing themselves as themselves, they're comparing themselves to another person. So I feel that a lot of women have been intimidated by the confidence in me when they should moreover be embracing their confidence in themselves or developing their own confidence. So it has been a little more difficult dealing with women, especially women of color, for whatever the reason, with my counterparts from other mothers. My brothers and sisters from other mothers haven't been as competitive with me. So it may be a cultural bias situation. But what I felt more comfortable is dealing with more males and more masculine energies because they're not as what we would call catty. But I still love on my women. I still have a group of women that inspire me and a sisterhood with a lot of quality, qualified women who don't feel less than within themselves and who do feel that we can all add value to one another. I do have those groups. I can't act like I don't. But overall, I can say that my experience with women has not been the best. However, I have been able to turn a lot of those negatives into positives by remaining stable in my love for them regardless, and also keeping my being away from that energy and still respecting and loving them all the same.
What a lesson in compassion. What
Yeah.
a big lesson. But it makes sense that for you, many women would be like competitors because you come as so strong and confident, and that's exactly what they think they don't have. So
Right.
going back to the beginning, it's about the wealth state, the abundant state, thinking scarcity instead of
Yeah.
thinking, if we have many like Omai, fine. If we have very little, fine. It doesn't really matter. She has a set of qualities. I have another one, another set of qualities. We can compromise, we can work together, we can learn from each other. So it's about maybe scarcity, about not being heard as well. As kids, many of us have not been heard. So when we grow up, we want to be looked at and heard and acknowledged, even though we
Yeah.
don't sometimes because we don't know how.
That's right. And that's why we love social media, or some people even develop or adapt to addictive behaviors with social media because now they're getting the attention that they feel like they deserve, which is fair. But when your attention is based off of somebody else's idea or perception, that's when it gets a little sticky and murky. And then also when you find value in somebody else above your own, you're getting into sticky waters as well. It is okay to see somebody as an inspiration, or even to motivate yourself by connecting with other people. But where it gets sticky is when you begin to idolize somebody outside of the realm of self. I love the way that Anna portrays. I'm not as graceful as she is. So I see that as a benefit to learn grace, to adapt to her gracefulness, not to be like her, but to become more like myself, whatever my version of grace is. I'm not the most graceful woman there is. I'm a little rough around the edges. I curse and I spit and I, sit with my legs open sometimes and have to remember I'm in a skirt. But for the most part, when I do see softer women such as Anna or other women that have and carry themselves with a powerful feminine energy, I submit to them and I learn from them. And even when I'm not able to catch on as fast as I'd like to, I still keep it in my mindset that there is a woman that is graceful that I can learn from when I choose to put that into my psyche. And so I just consistently work on that versus working against her because she is like that. I appreciate. And the more we appreciate, especially in the financial world, the wellness world, the heart and the mind world, when we appreciate things, we add value to them. And when we add value, we receive value because Anna said it, what we put out, we get back. And so when you start appreciating things for what they are, enemies included, then you will begin to learn to receive on a different wavelength. And so I appreciate you for bringing up this topic because it really does help. And this is how we decide, I want to get attention, but I don't have to take it from somebody else or shine light on myself to get the attention. I can still get the attention that I deserved as a child by being a better person to myself. And also practicing and being in habit of doing that for others where applicable. Where applicable. You don't have to go out of your way. Sometimes you just have to be who you are as you are and be okay with that and appreciate that in that moment and live your moments how you choose. That's going to benefit you, and obviously it'll benefit other people.
Oof, you're walking your talk all the time, and I love that because we can receive the energy throughout the screen.
Yeah.
So powerful. It's so powerful. I can feel the field that you're
Nice.
creating around you. It's all the wavelengths coming together. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. And because you were talking about metaphysics, I'm a bit nerdy about that as well. Plus, my background is chemistry.
Oh, wow. I didn't
I
know.
know the
That's
formula.
beautiful. And
I
that's why you're the bomb trader, because you understand energy and fields and dimensions and other things outside of the world that you can bring and add benefit. I like it.
now understands Redinger.
Yeah, it makes sense. It all makes sense.
Now it does. It does make sense. Now, I would like to wrap it up to hear something about the non-profits that you
Yeah.
do. But
Okay.
if you want to talk about the yes profits, well, work away.
I love it. Well, for me, I always tell people, say it with your chest. A nonprofit is a real business. You have to get incorporated or have an LLC. Your nonprofit also can own for-profit corporations. It can be a powerhouse. So I can talk about a nonprofit all day. I have 20 years experience, plus 20 plus years experience in the nonprofit world. I've been able to work with multi-million dollar, billion dollar nonprofit organizations and raise $500 million for these nonprofit organizations through connections and people that care. Anna said compassion, that have compassion, that also utilize the nonprofit sector for tax shelters to assist them in not being hit over the head with taxes by doing good for our society. So sometimes people see nonprofit as, oh, they're just getting donations. Oh, they're just doing it from the heart. But it is a serious business. My nonprofit organization is entitled the Board of Literacy. I'm the founder and president of the Board of Literacy, and our entire mission is to advance the financial quotient of our youth ages 6 to 24, because your brain is not fully developed until you're 25 years old. So you are still a youth at 24. And some of us stay a youth all of our lives because we want to. But our goal is to make sure that not only are those youth benefiting from financial literacy and education and wealth development, but also their communities, families, and caregivers are also able to access the information. We work in the state of Georgia, the state of Texas, and we work in the city of Abuja, Nigeria as well, predominantly. However, we have a global impact. Don't care where we are, we stop, drop in wealth. We stop, drop in financial literacy. It's one of the most powerful literacies that we can have out here besides reading, which is the best. I love to read. I'm a nerd that way as well. But we teach our youth about financial literacy through hands-on opportunities, meaning setting up your bank account, playing Monopoly with real money, because it gets real with real money. Introducing them to billionaires and millionaires. In the city of Dallas, which is where I reside in the United States of America, I began to fly in African American billionaires and millionaires into the city and partnered with some high profile people here in the city. We utilized Mark Cuban's movie theater to host financial literacy educational films, documentaries, but also speak to those who look like me and who the children feel that they look like. Moreover, obviously we have all cultures represented because that's what it takes for wealth. However, we've been making sure to highlight those in the what we would call disadvantaged communities in this country, and they have to see it to be it. So I was flying in millionaires and billionaires. To this day, I still do that. I started in 2006 technically, but we began doing a public work by 2011 through 2013. After that, which the community got involved and kind of took it over, so I don't have to anymore. But that's how we got started. And we started doing internships, and the state of Georgia started paying the teenagers to work on my film, real money. And I started teaching them how to keep it. So that's the foreground of our energies. Our basis started in 2006. We are definitely deep in the game now. We work with many other nonprofit organizations and for-profit companies to push out financial literacy and education. April is almost over, which in the Americas is Financial Literacy Month. So we just really work hard in the community with other units, such as, for instance, we just did an event where there was small businesses. I think it was like 15 small businesses, all owned, founded, profited by the youth. It was amazing, from ages 5 to 24. And they were all in the building with all of their businesses, and we were able to come in and shop. It was a full house, 100 people showed up. And my sister, Letitia Scott, she founded an organization called Keeping Families Connected, where she takes the youth to go visit their incarcerated parents and family loved ones. And some of those youth wanted to start businesses because they now have become the man of their house because their father's in prison. And we were able to go to her event and support that. So now we support those type of causes, to where we're not doing as much legwork as we used to do, but we're doing more partnering and more supporting and sending out funds and grants and scholarships to other organizations. So we're becoming an endowment. But nevertheless, we still love financial literacy and education. I can talk about it all day. As you can see, our website is www.theboardofliteracy.org. And my email address is basically president@theboardofliteracy.org. My other website, where we do events, some free, some paid. When I say free, I mean donation only. So we can give back to the youth, but obviously we help out the youth. Is always free for them. And that website is the wealthhackathon.com. So that's where we do our events out of, and the organizations support each other. It's more over a platform than a business as far as Wealth Hackathon, but our company is called the Board of Literacy, and we are so excited. We are state funded. And again, we definitely work with other organizations. So if you want to assist or you want us to connect with you, please connect with me and we will make it happen.
I understand now how God Almighty works in mysterious ways.
Amen.
Because I've applied that to my kids, and I want to use the rest of my life to empower mothers and children. And finances is number one. And if I say mothers, I mean mothers and fathers, parents, but acting as the feminine energy. And with my kids, it worked. They have 6 figures accounts. They are 18 and 20, each one of them, because They knew how to put money aside. They knew how to invest in the stock market. They knew how to think big. They don't have all the negative associations with money. So I'm the future of some of the kids that you're teaching now, and it does work. It does work because it makes them independent. They can think how to heal the world. All of them, your kids, these kids, all the kids. So that's how we can heal the world. Stopping scarcity, thinking abundantly, thinking about cooperation.
Awesome. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Dr. O. This has been amazing. The highlight of the year so far.
Yay. I love it. Thank you. I love you. I love your energy. And I cannot wait to continue to work with you. We've got many things to do. Even though things kind of slowed down, they haven't stopped, which is a blessing. But I'm so excited. You guys are in our thoughts. Everything that we're working on as far as events go, we have a first class conference that we're thinking about. And the first person we wanted to speak and talk with was Mr. O'Malley and yourself to come and talk about what all you guys are doing. So we'll get that information over to you. But you guys are in our talks, our thoughts, our prayers, and we're so excited to be connected. And we want to continue the connection. So thank you.
Forever. I love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.